Welcome to the Dad Show podcast. How y'all doing? Today is part 3.
In a place of, brokenness, or in a place of where you don't feel like doing it.
So to set the setting, you are the worship leader at this time.
I'm the worship pastor at the Grove Church during this time.
All right.
We started a T-shirt campaign to help raise money for IVF.
Yep.
After every false pregnancy or unsuccessful pregnancy, that next Sunday we're up there, we're leading. At the same time, my dad's going through cancer.
Oh my gosh, man.
There was times where I was up on stage. I'm like, I do not want to be here.
Yeah.
I do not want to be here.
Yeah.
I won't say that I questioned my belief, but I did question on why there were other people getting pregnant, why there were other families having success. What was the issue? What do I need to do? And I don't know this for 100% fact. But I think my wife and I's focus was so much on starting the family on our time frame,
mm-hmm.
and not letting God do what he does best, which is work things out for the good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's huge.
And there's a song that we're singing this Sunday, and it wrecked me this week. The Lord will provide. Seek first the kingdom and his treasure. Everything else will be added.
Yeah.
I don't think our eyes were focused on God. I can't speak for my wife, but I know for me, my main focus was I've got to have a kid before my dad.
Almost, taking time.
You know what I mean? I was like, I don't have a ton of time left. We knew that he already had half of a lung cut out, and then cancer came back in the other lung.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where that had all my focus,
mm-hmm.
Which is human.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's times I would lead on Sunday and I'm like, I do not want to be here.
Yeah.
I do not want to sing this song.
Well, rightfully so, man. I mean, that's you're going through a storm with your dad, and then, even though you and your wife are good in your marriage aspect, like that's what you want, and so.
And my prayer the whole time was like, God, please let me have a kid that I can share with my father.
Yeah.
Let him have time with him. I want him to be able to know him.
Yeah.
He got 6 months with him. We finally got pregnant with IVF. We had 12 embryos, but only one was viable. And since the pregnancy was a success, the other 2 tries that we were guaranteed if the pregnancy was a failure went out the door. So we ended up with just one, and it was Lyric. All the doctor's appointments, I was terrified. I was like, this has got to work.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to work. I don't know if I can do the whole process all over again.
Yeah. Golly, man, the stress. I can't.
Finally, we got to the point where, it was Labor Day. Not the actual Labor Day, but the day where we're actually going to have probably a bad choice.
Not the holiday.
Absolutely, not the holiday. We were there, and it was scheduled, and she comes in there and she breaks Chassie's water. And she said that she couldn't find the heartbeat anymore. And she did a good job of keeping us calm in that moment. The nurses did not, because once she left, there was like 15 nurses that came in there, got me ready. They already took her out there for an emergency C-section.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, there's no way you're going to bring me this far.
Yeah.
And then just kind of cut it off.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. So I get in there.
That's what was going through your head.
Oh
at
my
this
gosh. I
moment
was thinking, surely this isn't how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no way this is going to,
yeah.
It can't happen this way. So we get in there into the delivery room, and they're already starting, and they asked me, like, do you want to watch? I was like, no, you focus. No, if I watch, you're going to have 2 patients in here. So like, cut her open, and I can still remember hearing him cry for the first time. I broke down. Just broke down. And for a split second, once I realized that he was good and that chastity was good. God is so faithful.
Yeah.
And he will always provide. Regardless if it's on your timeline. And
most of the time it's not.
Absolutely. There's another song, Worthy of It All by Phil Wickham. I like to correlate songs with everyday living.
Yeah.
And there's a part in the bridge where it says, whether you say yes or no, or just wait, you're worthy. I don't know why we were in a wait and no top section of our life for that 7 years. And I've also asked myself, like, if I was more specific with my prayer, like, instead of just asking for time with my dad and Lyric to have, if I would have asked for 10 years, if God would have given me 10 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that goes in my head all the time.
From my aspect, I don't think so.
No,
you know what I mean?
I agree.
Like,
I think it's just the devil playing the games with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And trying to get in your head and
Absolutely.
doubt and do everything else with these ultimate deceivers. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not God. I don't have that
Absolutely.
true answer.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, from my aspect, no.
Yeah, but he, everything works in his time. And if it hadn't been for the Grove and the T-shirts and the unbelievable outpour of support and donations, from people in our church, Lyric wouldn't be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's to the congregation of the Grove and this community that helped. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? It's it's one of those things where when you try to do everything on your own, instead of just letting God do what it does.
Yeah.
So
trying to follow him. Like,
absolutely.
You had almost, God was probably laughing like, no, God, this is my plan. Like, this is when I need my child to arrive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the saying that if you want to make God laugh, you tell him your plans?
Absolutely.
Like, you give him your timeline of when this is going to happen. And God's like, no, it's going to happen on my time. And dude, it's so beautiful. And I don't know if there's any pieces of your story that you can pick out like this, but like, I think of the journey through our medical journey through our kids and stuff of that nature. I'm at the front of it, and when I'm going through it, I'm like, no, why is this happening? Like, almost like you were questioning at the end there, like, you're not going to bring me this far and then take it all away from me, But once you're on the other side of it, to see that it was a perfectly orchestrated story to build up at times, to break you down at times, to build you up stronger for this. But when you get to the end of it, you're like, thank you, God. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for not giving me this, or thank you for giving me, or making me go through this. I think of it, and I don't want to go down this hole, but had a podcast a few weeks ago with a guy named Tristan Greth. And he made the statement, I don't remember what we were talking about, but he made the statement of, it's like the dad walking into the child's room at night. The child's got a device on his leg, and the dad has to come in every night and tighten it up to stretch the leg, to make it straighter, to make it stronger. And when he comes in there, the child's like, no, Daddy, not tonight. Please, not tonight. Any night, but not tonight. It hurts too much. And dude, when he said that, it hit me. I was like, that's what I do to my kids every night. Or every day. We got to go through this surgery. We got to go to this doctor's appointment. We got to go through this therapy. We got to make you stronger for what's to come. And then I was like, that's God, man. I'm that child laying in the bed with the device on my leg saying, no, Daddy, not tonight. I don't want to have to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to be putting my daughter through this surgery. I don't want to have this argument, like all this stuff. And that's God saying, you've got to go through it to build you up for what's to come. And so since that day, since that conversation, something bad happens, like usually you get broke down, you get mad, but I'm like, thank you, God, for that, because you're building me up for something, and my whole attitude has changed. So like I said, I don't know if there's something in your story that you've seen through this whole 7 years that you all were waiting for beautiful Lyric to come into this world, and you were fighting and you were battling in your marriage. And, I don't know what the beauty on the other side of it is, but I hope there was some things that you were able to see, like, Thank you, God, for that. Thank you for making us wait. Thank you for this trial that we went through. Like, I don't know if there was something.
Yeah. So I don't know much about working out. Obviously, as you can tell, I don't hit the gym very often, but like you got to tear your muscle for it to grow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's, I've questioned why God didn't give Lyric to us sooner. I've come to the realization that to go through the hard time that we had when my father passed, Lyric was an absolute blessing and came at the perfect time. Because he was a joy that replaced the hurt that we had in that moment.
Yeah.
So looking back on it now, I feel with all my heart that, God had it planned. We're going to give you some time. We're going to give Lyric some time with your father.
Yeah.
We're going to give your father some time with Lyric. I did this to help you get through what you're fixing to go through.
Wow.
Because he knows what we're fixing to go through. He holds tomorrow, not us.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's crazy when we just start questioning, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like if he could just talk to us like straight out, like me and you're like, bro, just stop.
Yeah.
I've got this.
Yeah.
I know what's fixing to happen. You're going to need what I'm giving you now to get you through what's coming next.
Wow. That's so strong, man.
No, I
like,
think Lyric was a great example of that.
Yeah.
At that right moment.
From my aspect, like I haven't heard God's audible voice.
Correct.
Everything kind of comes in thoughts, and then I try to decipher whether that's mine or his thoughts. And, like, wouldn't it be so awesome if he could sit here and be like, JT, like, dude,
that's it.
Just hold on.
Yeah.
I've got this. And
Absolutely.
that I say that, but now that I'm talking through it, we've got that reassurance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't need him to sit here and tell it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm almost laughing at myself now because we've got the reassurance. We don't have to have that audible voice or that person sitting in front of us. I've got this, man.
100% right.
Like, yeah.
You're 100% right.
I feel so stupid now that I'm saying that.
Well, I mean, it's crazy to think about, but like if you go back to when Jesus was walking on earth, there was people that didn't believe, and they actually got to witness the things that he was doing.
Yeah, that's so true.
So it's only human for us to have those questions, even though we know the truth and we've seen him provide for us. We've seen him move in our lives time and time again. It's crazy that we still question his motive or question his timing, his purpose for us. Hopefully, I'm hoping at some point I can be less like, never have to question it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The human part's always going to be there.
It is. And, that's the devil deceiving
Absolutely.
and putting those thoughts into our head and, or us allowing him into our head to doubt, God's grace, God's power, God's timing. And we want to question it. We get greedy. We want it on our time frame. So, let's switch up and talk about your wife for a little bit, man. Like, how did you all meet?
So we were, first time I ever met her, was at East Denali Baptist Church. It was during a Christmas program practice. I had to sing one of the songs that I wrote for the Christmas program, and she was there, and I noticed her immediately. First thing that she ever said was, I like your voice, first thing. But she also made it known that if I didn't have good teeth, that we would have never made it.
Yeah.
So thankful for the teeth.
Yeah.
But it was at a Christmas program with, at East Denali Baptist Church. Just kind of slowly took off from there.
Wow.
We dated for almost 4 years before she was like, listen, either you're going to marry me or you're not. But if you're not, tell me now.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Don't give me no ultimatum.
I don't need that. We argued so much when we were dating.
Really?
So much. And it was like once we got engaged and then got married, all went away.
Usually it's vice versa.
It was the weirdest thing in the world. The weirdest thing in the world. I mean, we'd fight over stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. She punched a car one time. About broke her hand.
Wow.
I don't even remember what that was about.
Chastity, we're going to send you some anger management classes.
She's done so much better. She's done so much better.
No more punching cars?
No, she hadn't punched a car in a long time. A long time. I'm pretty sure I did something stupid, though. Although I'm going to be 40, I'm not very mature for my age.
Yeah.
She's very mature for her age, and she was mature back then, too. I think it's one of those things I have accepted, that I'm not going to be very mature at any age that I get to. So,
but you'll have more fun with Lyric that way, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. She's a fantastic mother, fantastic wife. She's very supportive in whatever I do. She's supportive in the music that I make. She's supportive in the music that I sing. Anytime that I'm singing anywhere, if she's not working, she's there. Yeah. She's one of those people that she's not going to be up front in anything. She does not like to be seen.
Yeah.
In terms of being the main attraction, if that makes sense.
No, I got you. She don't want spotlight.
But she will do anything that you want in the background.
Yeah.
And she is supportive in that way. She's very dependable. She's faithful. I can't tell you how much of a blessing it is to know that I don't have to worry about her going off and finding somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
it's very, it's a blessing. She works at Sharon Brown State Farm in Athens, and she is currently trying to become an agent as well. So she's doing all that schoolwork, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, she's excited about it.
How much better does it make you feel knowing that no matter what, your wife's supportive of you 100%?
It gives you, it's almost like a free pass, if that makes sense. Like you can mess up and okay, let's don't do that again. Good. We can do just like our church. We have a philosophy. We'll try anything once.
Yeah.
If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll scrap it. So musically, she's always been supportive. Any idea that I've had, she's like, yeah, you should do that. Even if she thinks it's probably a bad idea, she's like, yeah. She kind of wants you to figure that out on your own. And I've had those. I've had those ideas.
I've had a lot of them. Yeah.
Too many to count. Too many to count.
But that's huge though. Like and I want to speak to, the people that are listening right now. Like if you have a spouse, or even you take this as a parent-child aspect, like, show support.
Absolutely.
Push, even like you said, even you don't think it's a good idea, or, maybe you don't think it's going to work out. Like maybe they do have to figure that out by themselves. But your support, right. Like if you're negative and say, that's not going to work, and I'm not going to be behind you when it's going to fail. 9 times out of 10, you may have that anomaly that, pursues it and does it. But the support of a spouse is huge, man.
Huge.
It's so big. And
when you're not out there like on an island by yourself, and you can have somebody you can confide in, take advice from, whether you choose to accept that advice or not.
Yeah.
Just hearing somebody else's perspective that actually has your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. It can take you from 65 to 75%.
1,000%.
With the support of them, all the way to 100 and more. Yeah. I mean, that's really, really big that she does that for you.
And I try to be that way for her as well, especially when she's going through the agency classes and stuff like that, taking the tests and stuff like that. Trying to give her time to study at home. Me and Luke will go in the back room, wrestle, whatever we got to do to keep her, kind of give her some peace and quiet so she can study and stuff like that. So I try to be as supportive as she is of me and my endeavors, because I know that's the right thing to do. And I love her. And if I love her, I should want what's best for her and what she wants.
Yes.
So
instead of being greedy and selfish,
absolutely.
and, like, no, this is the way I'm going to do it. And
absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's huge. That's huge. I ask this question on every podcast, I think. You take your car in for maintenance. You go get the tires checked, oil changed, all the above to keep your car running smooth. What's some things that you do to maintenance your marriage, to check in, to make sure that your marriage is running smooth? Is there anything that you and your wife do to?
Oh gosh,
Thank you for coming to watch part 3 and come tomorrow to watch part 4. Thank you for listening to the Dad Show podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Dad Show podcast. Please like, review, and subscribe.